And we are back with some more Hellraiser discussions. This is a lineup of the production series Hellraisers. There are more. There are other offerings. Here's the automatic production. I don't have them all out here. I believe this is all of the production versions that I currently have. And this one is not mine, but this is the main one we're going to talk about today. A lot of people had asked me if I was going to get one of the Jeremy Siers, I believe is how you pronounce his name, production Hellraisers. And I said, no, I was not. But, excuse me. But Kyle over at Red Wolf EDC bought one, had Ed Kim from Red Horse Knife Works ship it to me directly, and I get to talk about it here today. But I wanted to kind of show you the lineup first, because they do them in different materials. And I'll put a link down below, not only to Kyle's YouTube channel, but also to the Red Horse Knife Works website. So you can go check it out. They have carbon fiber. They have G10 in black, OD green. They have brass. And this was a limited run, I think a DLT exclusive, if I'm not mistaken, with this marbled carbon fiber and the red accents. So this one was a gift to the channel from a viewer quite some time back. This is the first one that I bought while watching Jim Skelton. So I will give a shout out to Jim Skelton. He did a video on the production Hellraiser quite a while ago when they first released. As I've mentioned before, I paused Jim's video and went over to the Red Horse website, bought that one, came back and finished the video. They also made a automatic version recently with a black or a satin blade. I went with the black blade. And at Blade Show last year, maybe 2021, maybe 20, I don't remember. He came out with this G10 double thumb-studded version that a buddy of mine bought and then sold to me. And now this one is probably being passed on to my buddy Alex over at the Watch and Cut channel and my co-host on the EDC Hour with Dirk and Alex. I believe this one is going to go over to him. We'll talk about the double thumb studs as we get into this guy. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the specs. I will link my Red Horse Knife Works playlist at the end of this video, as well as probably the full review video of this one up in the corner here or here, whatever. That'll give you all the specs. I don't need to waste your time talking about them here if you're already familiar with them. This particular model is in full brass scales on both sides and double thumb stud. Now, I don't know if these are brass thumb studs or if they are just anodized. That I don't know. I also don't know why a double thumb stud is a thing on this particular knife, because it is very difficult to get to. You can get to it, but I don't know. Here you have a cutout that you can easily just grab it and go. You can't, I mean, you can sort of finger flick it, but, you know, it works, but it's awkward. You have to really get your finger in there. So let's just take a close-up look at the blade. Standard Hellraiser Affair, DLC coated, Red Horse Knife Works logo. And then we get into this brass, which is really heavy. Okay. This knife comes in at almost double the standard carbon fiber version. Okay, solid brass. You have the Jeremy Siers logo engraved. You can feel it. It's not uncomfortable feeling because it's kind of smoothed out, but you do feel it. I believe they also have another version that has a bunch of more etching, engraving, milling into it. And then you also have a brass colored pocket clip here. So I don't believe that this is actually brass. I believe that is titanium that is anodized in that colorway, which is probably the same thing with the double thumb studs. Okay, we zoom back out. The logo here on the blade, on the scales, does 0 for me. It actually made me kind of think, no, I didn't want one when I saw that in the first place, because I personally, I don't know about you guys, I had no idea who Jeremy Siers was. I did go look him up. He does have a YouTube channel, and I'll put a link to his down below too. What the heck? It's a much bigger channel, almost 500,000 subscribers, give or take, at the time of filming. Kyle is going to do, he has a plan for a bunch of more milling and engraving on this knife. So even if it was just plain brass, brass isn't my thing. To me, there's a feel to brass, and there is a scent to brass that just doesn't appeal to me. And the weight. Now, I'm not weight conscious with my knives in general. But let's take a look at this TJ Fisher King Kamehameha. I don't know what it weighs right off the top of my head, so I'm going to go to the drawer right below the table. And this weighs in at 10.1 ounces. And it feels balanced and it feels substantial. And I have carried this a few times. Okay. This is not my main carry knife. It's rather big in the pocket, but I love it. It might be for sale. I don't know. It's one of the ones that I am toying with because I have another purchase coming up and I need to make some funds available. So this comes in at 10.1 ounces, which is no problem. This comes in at 8.4 ounces and is too heavy. It's a very small package. It is unusually heavy, if that makes sense. You go to pick it up, you do not expect this type of weight. And if we look at the standard production Hellraiser, I'm going to weigh it real quick. It's 4.4 ounces. Okay, 4.4 versus 8.4. So it's 4 ounces heavier. To give you a little perspective, a D-cell battery is 5 ounces. So you're almost this much. It's awkward to me. Okay, and again, I don't have a problem with heavy knives because I've carried this one. I've carried a lot of Medford Praetorians, Praetorian ties. Those are up in that 11, 12 ounce range, and I had no problem with them. This one just bothers me because it's just unusually heavy for its size. Now, it's done really well. The detent on this one is a little bit light, lighter than I would like, might be lighter than Kyle wants, but I will send it to Kyle and he can deal with sending it back to Ed if he wants a tighter detent. He can do like that's, I'm going to let him deal with whatever he wants there. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting in the fact that it is all bronze, but it just feels odd in my hands because of the weight. And then you've got that scent, that smell, almost a taste, if you will. And you guys know I love the Hellraiser line, from the production versions to the customs to the other customs. to the very few flipper versions that are out there in the custom world. So I love the Hellraiser lineup. And so it's odd for me to say that I don't like this particular variant. But that's the truth. I'm not even going to do size comparisons. I think y'all get it. Y'all know what this one's about. Let me know. If anybody else has the brass version, please let me know down in the comments what you think. How is it for you if you daily carry or not? Please let me know your comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on the brass. And please go check out the full video of the production over here with all the specs. And please check out the Hellraiser playlist over here.